Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to talk about how to sell insurance to strangers. This has been a frequently asked question from advisors worldwide, and I thought, why not let me address it so the future advisors like yourself could benefit from it. Now, before we move on, I just want to give you a quick introduction of myself. My name is Dr. Sanjay Tolani, and I'm also the family leader of Sanjay Mentoring Family, which helps financial advisors like yourself to become successful financial planners. Having been in the industry for 18 years, I have a unique view of what works and what doesn't in the financial planning world. And it is my hope that I can pass this experience to new generation of future financial advisors, so that they don't have to go through the same struggles as I have. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notifications to get the latest video updates so I can share more tips and strategies with you to increase your overall sales. So here are 3 learning points we will discuss in today's video. Why is it impractical for you to sell to strangers? Understanding the client acquisition process you have to go through, and how to approach a cold lead. Ready? Let's get started. Why is it impractical for you to sell to strangers? I know you're probably watching this video thinking, I'm going to share with you some 100% winning strategy to teach you how to walk up to any stranger and get them to buy insurance from you, isn't it? I'm sorry guys to break your heart, but it doesn't work that way. You see, I've been in this industry for many years, almost more than 18 years now. And what I can assure you is people buy insurance from people they trust. Now, this trust can be because of their personal relationship with you, or that could be the trust in your character or attitude, or their trust could be in your professional advice and skill set. This is why, as an advisor, you need to spend time working on your soft skills and your skill set. Now, after we understand that we cannot sell to strangers directly, the next thing I want to discuss is the client acquisition process, so you understand the different types of prospects and how you can go about closing them. The client acquisition process goes like this. It goes from cold lead to a warm lead to a hot lead. Now, cold leads might be people you get to know from a phone book or an address book. These might be people you have randomly connected with on the streets or via door knocking. Often these leads are people who have not built any rapport with you or are unaware of their financial needs. Warm leads, this could be recommendations you get from a friend or someone you have already known of, but never had the discussion with. They could also be prospects who are previously connected with. These are people who you probably are aware of their problems and they are waiting for someone to give them a convincing solution. Hot leads are usually a person who is just waiting for the solution to be provided before they decide to do business with you. Now, these are prospects in which you have the highest chances to do business with, and they are very much aware of their own financial needs. The goal in every sales process is to bring your prospects from a cold lead to a hot lead. Certain advisors try to force closing on a cold lead and end up losing the deal. Why? The answer is simple. The prospect is not ready to do business with you. So value add them before attempting to close. We all know that 80% of prospects convert to customers after the 5th contact. So don't hurry to push a sale. Instead, create more opportunities to add value to them. Add value to your clients and follow up with them. Now, you're clear on the client acquisition process. Let's move on to discuss how should I approach a cold lead. There are 2 rules you should simply remember when approaching a cold lead. Rule number 1. Every advisor starting out has to go through the process of approaching cold leads because you need some time to establish a recommendation base. If you're a new advisor starting out, your aim is to get to your first 100 clients. And from there, you start getting recommendations from your existing clients to fill up your calendar. This is also why I currently don't do 100% cold prospecting, because I'm getting recommendations on a daily basis. Rule number 2, build relationships and demonstrate the value first before you sell. Financial planning is a very personal process. Nobody will be willing to disclose their finances to you unless they trust you and your ability. One of the biggest mistakes people make is when they approach a cold prospect, they straight away ask about their income, the value of their house. Trust me, nobody will tell you that. This is also why I introduce a rule of thumb formula to get your prospects and clients to do their own calculations. If you want to find out more about the rule of thumb, do read the concept presentation playbook, which I have documented them in detail. Remember to show value. Always demonstrate how your services and the knowledge can assist your clients to solve their problems and help them save time and money. To approach a cold lead, I like to use conversation starters. I've previously recorded a video sharing that, so let's watch it together. How do you start any conversation? I want you to think about it. I've always been told, Sanjay, think of ice-breaking questions or think about ice-breaking conversations. So what is that statement that's ice-breaking? What's that question that's ice-breaking? If you don't ask the right question, the conversation always leads in the wrong direction. Like for example, a lot of people start a conversation by, what do you think about the economy? As soon as you ask a generic question like that, you spiral into a negative conversation or a positive conversation. It doesn't affect it, but you spiral out of your conversation rather than spiral in to your conversation. And if you don't get that correct, that is where we lose most of our conversations. If your conversation is generic and it's not focused to where you want it to lead, you're stuck. So if you start, for example, asking a question like, what concerns do you have? Their concerns might not even be relevant. I have the concern of being psychologically disabled, for some example. It doesn't matter what the concern is, it will actually go in the wrong direction. So asking that question is not really the true icebreaker question. A lot of people ask me, Sanjay, what's your icebreaker question? Now, for those of you who have seen my presentation, you know what that question is. It's a very simple question. What is your lucky number? You see, that question leads to my presentation. If your question doesn't lead to a presentation, you have a problem, because that's your opening. If your opening is not a presentation, it's a product brochure, you're stuck. Make sure you have a conceptual presentation that leads after the question that you ask. Because if it doesn't lead to that, you're now spiraling out of the conversation rather than going into the conversation. So I want you to think about it. What is your opening, observation, and icebreaking question? So let's summarize what we have learned in today's video. Learning point 1. It is impractical for you to sell to strangers unless you build a meaningful relationship. Learning point 2. Understand the client acquisition process you have to go through to create value. And learning point 3. Use conversation starters to engage your cold leads. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like the content, don't forget to thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. I like it, so I know that the content is valuable to all of you. If you would like to find out more about the new conversation starter that I will be using in the next 3 months, then you need to check out Final Sprint 2020. Final Sprint 2020 is a 2-day seminar that I will be conducting on the 15th and 16th of October to help you overcome all the challenges you will be expecting in Q4 this year. At Final Sprint 2020, you will learn new effective conversation starters that have proven to work for me this year. These are conversation starters that have helped me and many mentees in the family to close many cases this year. So if you have time, click on the link below and register for Final Sprint 2020. Do grab your tickets early because the time for recording this video, we've already sold out 90% of the tickets.